you ever finished a painting and thought, why does it look so flat? You spend hours layering colour, blending, doing everything you think is right, but somehow it just doesn't feel alive. If your oil paintings look dull, this video will show you how to fix it. Because once you understand these principles, your art will literally start to breathe. I'm going to show you this recent commission painting and break down the process so that you can apply these principles in your own work. If you have stumbled upon my channel and you are currently struggling with a painting that just looks off, it can only be one or more of these 5 things. Often it can be all of them. Ask yourself, is my drawing correct? Is my value correct? Are my temperatures correct? Do I have a variety of edges, soft, lost and hard? Is my colour correct? If you have done all of these things correctly, your painting will be successful. If you haven't, it will most likely look flat and off. Let's look at each one of these in turn. Number 1, drawing. This is probably the easiest one to get right, as there are various techniques to use to keep you correct. Firstly, you can use the grid method, tracing method, or projecting the image onto your canvas. Any of these methods will work. A fixative spray will help preserve your pencil work. It doesn't matter how well you paint it. If your drawing is off, it won't look right. So this is the most important principle to get right. Number 2, value. Value basically means how light or dark is it. This is slightly easier to see in my reference photo because it is a black Labrador, so there is limited colour. If you are working with something quite colourful, try turning your reference photo into black and white. You can do this in your phone settings. You can see from my setup that I am working from a colour photo and a black and white image. The more experienced you get, the less you will need to look at the black and white photo. If you are working from life, you can try squinting at your subject matter. This will help you see the obvious value blocks because it removes the detail. Paint these obvious value blocks first. Do not try and paint the detail. Try standing back from your work too, as often when we stand too close for too long, we lose all objectivity and stop being able to see those obvious blocks of value. Alternatively, at selected points during the painting, you can photograph your artwork, turn it into black and white via your phone settings and compare it to your black and white reference photo. Don't be too literal with this. You are looking for any value relationships that massively jump out at you. This is the second most important principle I am speaking about in this video. Often the issue with paintings that look off and flat is both a drawing issue and a value issue, so check these 2 first. Number 3, temperature and colour. I'm going to talk about these together, but it is worth knowing temperature is more important than colour. You can push the colours that you see, provided they are the right temperature. Let's speak about temperature first. For a painting to be successful, you need a balance of warm and cool temperatures. But what is warm and what is cool? Red is our warmest colour on the colour wheel, blue is our coolest. As colours move away from red in both directions, they become cooler. Everything is relative to what it's next to. So, for example, yellow is a warm colour, but when placed next to red, it is cooler. Also, purple and green are transitionary colours because they can be both warm and cool. For example, a red purple would be a warmer colour, but a blue purple would be cooler. Understanding the colour wheel is imperative to improving your colour mixing. Very often my students have issues with temperature. They will have used too much white or black in their mixing. Both white and black are cool colours, and so their paintings often look flat and chalky because there is an absence of warmth in there. Unfortunately, it gets even more complicated because there are warm versions and cool versions of every colour, and I would recommend using the following palette. Taking blue as an example, blue is our coolest colour, but ultramarine is a warmer blue than cerulean blue. Red is our warmest colour, but these 2 are not made equal. Cadmium red is warmer than alizarin crimson, etc. You are probably wondering why this is important when painting a black dog. To answer this question, I will need to show you my palette. I am using cadmium yellow light, yellow ochre light, transparent yellow oxide, cadmium red, alizarin crimson, transparent red oxide, cerulean blue, ultramarine deep and titanium zinc white. You will notice I have a warm and a cool of all my primaries. I am also working with a number of additional transparent colours. Transparent colours are glorious to work with, and if you would like to know more about how to use them and why to have them on your palette, have a look at these two videos on my channel. You'll also notice that I do not have a black or a grey on my palette. I am going to mix these from colour. By mixing my neutrals, I ensure that I have both warm and cool colours in my blacks. There are a number of ways you can mix black. I use the following of a black red and a black green. Red being my warm, green being my cool. When I mix these two together, they give me black. I've also mixed up a few other colours too. A purple, two oranges and another green. Notice how in my blacks you can see orange, blue, purple and red. I just add these colours to my base black and the shift in colour and temperature can be seen on the canvas. Certain colours will affect the value of my black. Generally, my lighter, more opaque mixes and my light colours. So if you're trying to show subtle highlights in black with colour, try these ones first before reaching for your white. I have also mixed my grey from colour. You can mix colourful greys by mixing opposite colours together and adding white. This will give you a simple, warm, cool palette. Here I have mixed my orange with my ultramarine deep plus white, and also my orange with my cerulean blue plus white. Orange is warm, blue is cool, but also remember ultramarine deep is a warmer blue, so it will give me a grey more like this. Cerulean blue is cooler, so it will give me a grey more like this. The main principles to remember here is to understand your palette. Use a warm and cool for your primary colours. Mix your neutrals from colour and work with colour opposites to help you. Make sure you have a balance of warm and cool in your painting. Do not overuse white. Try lightening with lighter value opaque colours first if you need colour in your mix. Remember, you can push colour provided you stay within the right temperature. For example, you could push a cool brown closer to blue. Number 4, edges. For a painting to be successful, you need a variety of edges in your painting. These are lost, soft edges and hard edges. If I show you my finished painting, you will see all of these present. The easiest way to do this is by painting alla prima. Alla prima allows you to manipulate your edges by pulling one edge into another or an edge over the top of wet paint. To do this successfully, you will need to make sure that you have enough paint on your canvas. You can use a medium like linseed oil. Think buttery texture rather than runny. And you'll need some long-haired soft brushes that do not pull paint off. I use these ones by Rosemary & Co. There is no simple way to do this. You just have to learn how to handle the paint by experimenting. I would suggest doing a painting several times. Do your first effort and then try a few experimental works where you are not too fussed about the outcome, but your goal is to try new techniques. You will learn a lot from doing this, and very often you'll find you prefer the experimental work to your first effort. If you would like to learn more about edges, have a look at this video on my channel. So there you have it, the 5 key principles that can turn a flat, lifeless painting into something that truly breathes. Remember, it's rarely just one thing that makes a painting look off. Often it's a combination. By checking your drawing, observing your values, keeping a balance of warm and cool temperatures and experimenting with your edges, your paintings will start to feel alive and dynamic. The most important part? Practice and observation. Don't be afraid to experiment. Make mistakes and push your colours and edges. Every painting teaches you something new and every small adjustment brings you closer to paintings that really sing. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. And if you're working on a painting right now that feels flat, pause and ask yourself, Which one of these 5 principles could I improve today? Your next painting doesn't have to just exist, it can come alive. Go create something amazing, and I'll see you for the next video.